What up, folks? It's your boys, the Boo Crew, coming at you.
What's up? This is Nikki T. And I got over here my buddy over here, Callie D.
It's your boy Dino, aka your Solid 5.
There you go. And we are the Boo Crew.
The Boo Crew, coming at you. So, this week, we're kind of on a theme right now. We're kind of doing like...
That's why.
It's all good. Kind of funny. So we're doing kind of a theme right now. So, as you noticed, well, the first one we did was Spell, and that was just kind of a one-off. But we're kind of going for like cartoons that are now, what do you call that? When they're like public domain. So public domain movies or movies that are bought by major companies from like original cartoons. So this week last week we did Popeye the Sailor Man. This week there's another iteration called Popeye's Revenge. And as you know, we also did the Banana Splits, which was Hanna-Barbera. And, you know, we're going to bring you some other, like, old animated characters that you grew up with. So we're going to see more of that stuff. We're going to switch it up eventually, but for now we kind of thought it would be fun to have a theme going on for a minute. So for now, we got Popeye's Revenge. Popeye's Revenge. Writer and director, who do we got again?
Director William Stead. He's done mostly documentaries, stuff like that. He did the Making of Manson, researcher for Making of Manson, and a researcher for My Son Jeffrey, the Dahmer Family Tapes. And he's done one horror movie in 2023 called Children of the Night. So he's not too much of a horror director. So he's just jumping in, putting his toes in the water.
Yeah. Kind of a long swing, Yeah,
it's a big change for him. And we got writer Harry Boxley, who's done a lot of B-rated, low-budget horror films.
Yep. They sound great, but they're not.
So he's got, I guess you could say, some experience in there with directing low-budget horror films.
Yeah, like you could read the titles and like, so the Mouseboat Massacre is the one you were talking about. That's the one, like the new Mickey Mouse one.
I don't know. It's supposed to come in theaters. I saw the trailer in movie theaters.
Okay, so
I think it was like Steamboat. I think it had to be Steamboat.
So it's crazy because like he wrote Popeye's Revenge, right? But then he also did better movies like the Mouseboat Massacre and Hook and Ferris of the Mall. Those all got like pretty high ratings considering, Popeye's Revenge did so bad.
Hey, everyone takes a turn once in a while.
Yeah, you gotta,
You can't win them all.
Yeah, right. So, he tried,
He did his best.
And
his best wasn't good enough.
This movie was stressful. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It took me 2 days to watch this movie.
Yeah, I fell asleep the first time watching it.
I went to sleep intentionally.
Yeah, I always try to give the benefit of a doubt. It's just so hard sometimes. Liking these movies. I really try. So anyway, this movie just came out recently, and we're just gonna kind of like brush through like the death scenes of like the main, the characters and.
Yeah, man.
If there's anything we like about it, of course we're gonna like give a shout out and whatnot. But we'll just kind of give you guys like a rundown of like the death scenes and
characters.
Yeah, the characters and just a very like brush along the story a little bit. The only thing I like about this movie, like my honest opinion, was the opening scene where like you have like the animated like story time kind of thing going on.
Yeah, the cartoon version. Of his beginnings.
Yeah, of his upbringing.
His birth.
That was actually done very well. I thought that like once that started, I was kind of like, oh, I'm in this. Like I'm all for this. But then it kind of trailed off, and I was like, almost like instantly.
Yeah, once that cartoon started, I said this is gonna be stupid as fuck.
Yeah, like the cartoon was really cool.
Because this
it sets it up,
It was just the story of that cartoon. just that story of like his start in that cartoon. I was like, just watching it, I knew that this was gonna be a stupid movie. You know, and I realized that he's a deformed child and fucking, you know, he's a bully and like his parents don't like bullies and they chase him to a house and burn it up and he falls into a river. I said it's gonna be stupid as fuck.
Yeah. So, you know, so we start with the with like the what do you call it, like the ghost hunters or like they're
ghost hunters.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Okay.
Because they're, you know, running around Popeye's old caverns and stuff like that.
So the story goes is the house burned down when he was a child. And this is another problem I had. There was like elements of like Nightmare on Elm Street and also Friday the 13th in this movie.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is kind of weird to me, but
you gotta get a plot from somewhere, right?
Yeah. So yeah. So
we all can't be winners, okay?
Yeah, I know. So again, I'm going to use this again, but like we have essentially young adults. They're checking out the property. They hear the story about the kid, you know, burning up in the house and dying, and then now he like haunts the grounds, and then anytime you see fog, that's when he comes out.
Yeah.
So they Scooby Doo over there, and you know, they start recording around the thing. So like the boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever you want to call them, they go into the basement to like do some recordings. And the third party, she's like the cinematographer or something like that. I don't know what she is, but she's like kind of on the upstairs, like walking around the property.
She's looking for sound.
Oh, sound, yeah, which doesn't make sense to me, but okay.
Hey, you need sound, right?
Yeah, but like away from everything else. Okay, sure. So. The couple start having sex down there, and they start smoking weed, and then they have sex, and then, which was like obviously the classic slasher, which is kind of what you have to put in a slasher movie.
Never have sex.
Yep.
In a horror movie.
Never have sex. Don't do drugs. Don't drink.
We learned that in Scream.
Yeah, so that is why the religious folks made all these slasher movies in the 70s and 80s, to scare the teenagers into not having premarital sex and doing drugs and alcohol. That is a fact, my folks. Look it up. Anywho, they start having sex, and the girl upstairs, she's the first one to get axed. Was it by the hook? The anchor?
She gets something goes through her body. I thought I should. The one. Wait, which one? The one walking upstairs?
Yeah, the one, the sound person.
I'm talking about the one in the basement.
No, the sound person. She dies first, isn't she?
Yeah. Does she die first? No. This is where everything gets fucking a little foggy for me.
I guess it doesn't really matter the order, but
because
she dies first because she's already dead, and then he kills the girl that's riding him, and then he dies the last because he's running away.
Yeah.
And he's like just in his boxers basically. I think.
I know the girl that when they're having sex, she gets something jammed through her body.
Wasn't it his fist or something like that?
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was. That's
she got fisted.
Yeah, pretty hard. And then he chases that guy around, and he gets his head squeezed.
Okay. Yeah.
That's okay. So in the beginning, I think the chick upstairs gets her head stopped. And then the guy that was having sex with the other girl, he gets his head squeezed. And that's all I was like, okay, they're taking this from Popeye the Sailor Man. I think that's what happened.
Okay. I don't remember. Like, yeah, okay, I do remember that actually. So that's like, that kind of just sets you up for the,
the start
of it. Yeah. And then it goes into the main character, right? She's like at home.
Fuck. See, I mean,
it doesn't really. So the whole premise of it is like basically the mom is trying to figure out what to do with the property because it's just kind of sitting there, and everyone's afraid of the legend of Popeye. So the daughter gets the idea to renovate the property to make it into a horror fucking
haunted,
like a haunted house thing. Yeah, so she can make money to like bail out her. Like the financial bullshit that they're dealing with.
Really? I missed all of that.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah. So they're like broke. They're like broke, and like they're about to go bankrupt.
I missed all of that.
Yeah. So
I don't know what the hell I was doing that.
I mean, they mention it kind of briefly. It's not like it's not a deal breaker about like
I missed
whether we care or not.
I missed all that shit.
So,
I thought they were just going just to fucking for the hell of it.
No, they're actually
start out of the house.
They start doing it, but then they trick all the friends into like helping. Mm-hmm. So like she like offers to pay a few of them money to like actually show up and help because they're not going to do it for free.
Oh, yeah. I thought they were just there for the ride. See, I missed that.
No,
too.
she actually, because even the boyfriend's like, wait, you're actually paying them? Like, that's crazy. Like, you don't have money, kind of thing. And she's like, well, they're not going to help, otherwise. So.
Which boyfriend is that? The nice one?
The nice one.
Not the piece of shit one?
Yeah, not the piece of shit. The nice one.
By the way, the piece of shit one, his name was Nick.
It's just.
So I was rooting for that guy because he had my name. I said, "You go, dude." I said, "You fuck out,
Survive, bro. Survive."
You may be a scumbag fucking sucker, but
you better live.
I'm rooting for him.
So as you mentioned, the guy Nick, he's like not even like really trying to hide that he's like cheating on his girlfriend.
No, he's trying to get caught.
Yeah, he's like as soon as like she leaves, like he's like making out with the other chick.
Yeah.
And like touching her tits and everything.
It was a complete scumbag.
Yeah, she had some
right like next to him, dude. It was crazy.
He was just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and he's all I wouldn't marry her and all this other shit.
Yeah. Poor girl, like she was so like obviously insecure.
I felt bad for her.
Yeah, like she actually liked him, but anywho,
I felt bad for her for a lot of reasons.
Yeah, they all show up at the property, 2 different cars. And, they're just kind of chilling. That's when we get the first weird person to walk in, and that's, or walk up to the property. And
that's the creepy lady. Right?
Haggard lady, yeah. We don't know who she is yet, but she shows up warning them. I forgot what she says.
Basically warning them, like, either you get out of here or you're going to die.
Yeah, like he's going to...
Typical stuff like that, like your fate is coming.
Yeah, watch it, basically. So, as we go by, they're all drinking and whatever. They're having fun. They got a jacuzzi there, and that's one of the things that the girl kind of like bribes them with is like hang out, drink, and go in the jacuzzi. But then tomorrow morning, we got a lot of shit to do. Here's a plan of everything. Blah blah blah.
You can bribe anybody with alcohol. And alcohol's there. Fuck yeah, let's go.
So, they're all chilling or whatever. But Popeye catches wind of all the kids there and starts to, again, pick them off one by one. I don't remember, like, we were talking about this. I don't remember exactly, like, all the death scenes in order, but, we're just going to kind of talk about them and how they died. So, the first one I vividly remember was like the girl in the jacuzzi, because she's pissed that Nick, like, he just wants to fuck.
And she wants a relationship.
Yeah, she wants a relationship, and he's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, she's a whore too.
Yeah, he's like, like we're done. Like I don't want, I'm not breaking up with my chick just because you want to settle down or whatever. And which is, damn, that sucks.
Yeah, it's all fucked up.
Yeah, so he leaves. He's all pissed, like he's all, puffy puffy.
Yeah, she's pissed.
She's pissed, but he's pissed because he ain't getting none.
Yeah, he tells her to fuck off, and that's it. And then she gets mad, and she decides to send a good old text message to his girlfriend.
But there's no service because there's only like certain spots around the cabin that work. So she's the first one to die. She's laying in the jacuzzi. What is that? He said, okay, this is what confused me. And for some reason I thought he only like choked her with something.
So first is a huge titty shot in this movie. Yeah. I mean, it's big, dude.
She got some tigo bitties.
It's like let's sit in there. So
they're floating.
It focuses on that pretty well because it comes back up when Popeye is killing her.
Yeah.
Because then as he's choking her with the anchor,
that's what it was.
Yeah. He grabs her boob, and he starts squeezing that thing, and he squeezes it till it pops, and you see the blood. It goes all.
Okay, that's why. Okay, that's what I. For some reason, I missed that, and I was wondering why there was so many blood.
I don't know how you can miss that fucking way.
It's because I was watching on my phone. It's hella small.
It fucking shows him fondling her. He's hella fondling her.
Okay, because I just remember like the anchor, like he's like pulling on the anchor to choke her.
Yeah, and he's fucking. Okay. He's also getting off.
I just thought he was holding her down. I didn't like see him like grab her tit.
Fucking molested. He was fucking sexually assaulting this woman, dude.
Yeah. Well, now that you mention it, I'm like, fuck, he was like that.
Popeye the Creeper Man.
Popeye the Creeper Man, dude. Yeah. I mean, he's slasher film. What do you expect?
He's creeping out there too.
Yeah. So she gets brutally murdered first, and then does it follow the boyfriend right after that?
No, I don't think it follows the boyfriend. The boyfriend don't come in until towards the end. I think she gets murdered. And I think
she goes missing, and like they're like, what happened to her? And then that's when Nick's like, oh, she took off. Like I saw her going in a taxi or an Uber, and like she's gone now.
Okay.
That was the next day.
Okay. And then, so I think then I think it follows after that.
Oh, then it's the dude. Off. Yeah, then it's the guy. Okay, so the dude's trying. So the stoner friend's trying to mac on.
His
like
friend.
His friend, like
he's known her.
Well, they're not friends.
He said he known her for. Wait, you talking about the one that's jacking off?
Yeah, but like
he said he known her since she was 5.
But she hates him.
Yeah, yeah. So
she's like, I don't give a shit if you know me.
Somebody, I guess they grew up together, but I guess they don't like it. She don't like him.
Yeah, she like basically gave a tit shot, like a cleave shot. And he like,
she said,
he was all pissed off about it because she's all fuck off, you know.
He said, here, take this. You're better off with this than me.
So he wanders off, goes to the pier, and he's like, fuck it, I'll start. He starts beating it off.
It right there.
Yeah, and this
wide open, fresh water, salt air.
Yeah.
Well, not salt air, it's a lake.
This is when the other seaman comes.
Yeah. Literal seaman shot right there.
Does he just like?
Well, it's a direct semen shot because he gets next thing you know he has an anchor flies right into his dick.
Yeah, right. Okay, that's what happens. First it's the dick, and then he grabs his spine. Right?
Blood's going up.
That's a big money shot.
Penis blood's all over his face, and then Popeye comes creeping up behind him. And then fucking next thing you know, he jams his fist right into the back of his spine, and he's yanking out that spinal cord.
Right, and then he just rips it out.
Yeah, when you get that spinal cord, it's straight plastic.
It's like a really bad version of Mortal Kombat, you know, like when Sub-Zero like rips off his. Well, he kind of like in Mortal Kombat he grabs his head and then he rips up his spine out, you know, upwards. But this one he just grabs his spinal cord and just rips it out. But it's like.
It's plastic. It's fake as hell. It's hard. He just drops it. It's fucking bounces. It bounces around.
Oh, the good stuff.
It's horrible. And then he snaps. And then he rips off his head.
Oh yeah, it's a weird sequence.
Yeah, it made no sense.
He should have just did it like Sub-Zero and just like ripped, you know.
That's what I was wishing for, but I didn't get that. I got the non-blood version of it.
It was sad. So sad. Who's the next test scene?
Who's the next failure?
Yeah.
I think we get to. This is where it's all fucked up now. Cause is it the lady that he gets lawnmowered over?
I think so. Yeah, because there's
how many friends were there? Like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think it's a lawnmower. Yeah. Well, I guess it doesn't matter the order, but so one of the friends gets run over by a giant sitting lawnmower.
Yeah.
Which Popeye. Is actually kind of cool.
Popeye's riding that sucker.
Yeah, and so she gets fucking just destroyed.
Yeah, and then annihilates her, dude. Fucking this blood and.
Oh, and that's when everybody gets scared and runs off, right?
That's when they finally see him.
Yeah, and then so it's her first, and then it's the blonde chick with like the showed up the cleavage. Because she like tries to drive off, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
He like flips the car over.
Because after the hot tub, and then the guy who's masturbating on the dock gets killed, then they all start getting paranoid and start looking for their friends, and then they start wandering around the woods, and that's when they discover Popeye riding the lawnmower.
Tell me when to go.
Raging over that girl. Just trampling over that girl in the lawnmower. So then that's when they freak out. Now they're all taking off. And then the next kill after that is the blonde chick.
Yeah, so he flips the car over. She trips in the woods, but then she gets in the car, right?
Somehow she gets to her car.
Yeah.
It doesn't show her get into a car. She just disappears.
But then he like obviously flips it over, and then the gasoline's pouring out.
Yeah, somehow gas is leaking out.
And apparently he's smart enough to light a lighter.
He's smart enough, dude. He's riding lawnmowers. He's lighting lighters. He's fucking pulling anchors.
Is he from the Bay? Is he going dumb or what?
Yeah.
Tell me when to go.
Yeah. One movie went pretty dumb too.
Oh yeah, dude, it's bad. Okay, so she blows up. Turns into some KFC.
Before she blows up, fucking what's all funny is that her phone goes off.
Oh, there's like a million messages, right?
Yeah, because she was bitching about service the whole entire fucking movie. Yeah. Right before she dies, she gets service, and that was pretty funny.
But then also like was it the lawnmower chick that like, that's the one that he was cheating with, right?
The blonde one?
Or like whoever he was cheating. So remember, like first the big titty girl dies, right, and then the lawnmower chick was the actual girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So and then her phone goes off too, though, because like, or she sees the text messages and then she like storms off or whatever.
Okay, so Nick, before Donna's the lawnmower chick. That's who Nick's ex-wife is. So before Donna dies in the lawnmower, Nick dies.
Nick dies. Yeah, he gets his eyeball pushed through a like stick out the wall, right?
Yeah, it's just like like the cabinet fucking broke or something, and a piece of fucking wood was sticking out of it.
So that was, we were talking about this off a screen, but like that was from a movie Zombie back in like '79.
Yeah, that's what you told me.
Yeah, it's an Italian movie. You gotta see, whoever's listening, watch that shit too. That's good old classic zombie movie. But it's the same, basically the same exact scene where his head gets pushed through like that stick, right through his eyeball. Classic scene.
Yeah. So after that, Donna comes in, she runs in, or she comes in, she sees him dead, and then she takes off.
And then she takes off, yeah, and then she dies.
Caught in the net, and then he runs.
Oh, and then he runs over, yeah. I forgot, yeah. I forgot the sequence, but yeah.
She's in that net, like just sitting there. A lot of people are just stupid, you know.
I mean, it's slashers, you know.
She just sits there and like just. The net's not even like fucking really on her. She's not caught up in it. It's just like laying flat on her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like take off the fucking net.
I think it's mostly because she's freaking out, you know.
Yeah.
Which is sick.
Yeah. I mean, the movie sucked.
Yeah.
But yeah. So,
I tried to give it more, you know.
So then Nick died, and then Donna dies, and then the blonde chick dies in the car.
And then the parents?
And then the parents, that's when the parents come in, you know, they're like...
The dad dies first, right?
Mom dies first.
Was the mom?
No. The dad, no. Okay, so then there's three parents come into the picture.
Yeah. Like the neighbor or something like that?
Her friend.
Her friend, yeah.
And then so the friend dies first when they get into the woods looking for the kids. Remember, she gets choked out?
Okay. See, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, because fucking they get to the woods to look for her friends, and then the neighbor lady is like standing out in the woods, like looking around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then her ass gets choked out by Popeye, and then
don't look at me, little puppet.
And then the mother and the husband, they take off to the house, which they find the kids.
All right. Okay. All right. That makes sense now.
And then the crazy lady, which turns out to be
Popeye's sister, Olive Oil.
That's right. They call her Olive.
Or Olive. We all know who it is.
She runs in there and she's fucking she's all stabbing the dad up.
Yeah. That was so
viciously. First she stabs the mom up, and then she stabs the dad up.
Yeah.
And then that's when I got upset. Because I said he didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah,
he had nothing to do with none of that stuff, dude. He was just being supportive.
He was just trying to maintain his pussy.
Yeah. And that's what happens. That's what happens, people, when you be supportive. You fuck around and you get stabbed.
You get stabbed, yeah. That was such a weird plot twist. I don't know. This movie was so frustrating.
What was
the
it?
Olive Oil being the sister.
Oh yeah. I didn't. Yeah. Did you expect that to be her in the basement? I didn't. I thought they were gonna leave that out.
Yeah, I just figured like they weren't gonna have Olive Oil.
Yeah,
in this movie.
that's what I thought.
They might as well just left her out. Like,
I think so. I thought this lady was just some crazy lady in the woods warning them about the legend of Popeye.
I honestly think this movie would have been better if she wasn't in the movie at all. Like, you know, like if they just left like not having those notes through the door. Like if you would have just like grew up crazy, it would have made more sense.
I think
like having a crazy sister with it just didn't add anything to the story.
I think the movie would have been better if it just wasn't a movie. Then I would have.
Or maybe like a YouTube series.
No, just not exist.
It was just bad. Yeah. So the parents die, and then Olive Oil dies too, right? She dies from the.
She doesn't die yet. The dad dies, but then the mom's still alive.
Oh, she's still alive for a while.
Yeah, they're still chucking her around.
Running around, right? At some point.
They're still running around. It's at this point, it's the mom, it's the daughter, it's her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And that's it. So now they're running around. And they're fucking running they're just running through the woods with no point of destination to go to. Yeah. They're just running.
They're just freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but then like, did the mom die?
The mom dies So then the mom dies. They're in the woods. Popeye shows up and he fucking grabs the mom. Like they think like. What the fuck happens? Fucking because I feel like there's a part in that where they think Popeye is like dead, like he's done, and then he grabs the mom and then he kills her. He chokes her out or he breaks her neck, and he's all calling her name. He's all Laura or Tara, whatever his name was.
She was the teacher, right? I mean,
she was the teacher.
The whole point of like the backstory was like. She was also responsible for the death, but also like the teacher of Popeye. That's why she like freaked out in the beginning.
She said that her daughter was friends with Popeye. So I guess
that's why she like freaked out.
So her daughter, so her daughter is friends with Popeye, and then she felt scared for her daughter and all this other shit. And then she said the villagers are going down to burn up the fucking house, and she decided that it was a great idea to go join them, and ended up getting caught in all the crossfire. Yeah. Now she's one of the main reasons that Popeye's dead.
So so we'll just fast forward through this real quick because I'm kind of done talking about this movie. And like I said, we're gonna keep this one short. So mom dies, and then the sister dies. Olive Oil. She gets burned up by the daughter.
Oh yeah, you know what's all funny too? You know when he burned her up? I laughed at this too. The lighter he took out was like a Bic, so it was like and then somehow, in some way, he threw that lighter, and it burned her up.
Oh, so like
that lighter would have went out, dude. You can't burn somebody up with that lighter.
Yeah, it has to be a Zippo.
They could at least fucking put a Zippo in
it. Yeah, it should have been a Zippo.
This fool pull out a big lighter.
So obviously it means that there was no smokers on set.
There's no research. No research in this movie.
Any smoker knows that a Big's not gonna like stay lit.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
At that point, I might as well just threw a flashlight at her and would have caught up on her.
I don't know.
So I thought that was funny.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that until you said, that's crazy.
Yeah, he's all, and he fucking throws it at her,
and I remember the flame at first was so bad too. I saw that, I was like, really, dude? Like,
the burning effect was horrible.
Yeah, it was bad. So she dies, and then the daughter decides to run over Popeye with the same lawnmower that killed the other girl.
Yeah, and the boyfriend tied Popeye up with an anchor and threw it into the water. Yeah.
Dude, I missed that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe I fell asleep.
So So the fucking Popeye was beating up the boyfriend. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But I guess at the same time he was tying her somehow tying a fucking chain anchor on his leg as he was getting fucking the shit being all of him.
Yeah. Okay, I
don't know how that happened.
And then he basically gets sucked into like the.
You know how big that chain was, man?
Yeah, dude. This movie is just crazy.
How because mind you, this is the image of it. The kid was laying on his back, and Popeye was straddling this guy on and punching his face. Where's this kid's hands at as he's doing this whole chain thing? Because
was he chaining him up, or was
the kid was chaining up? The kid was chaining him up. I'm pretty sure it was the kid because
that doesn't make any sense.
Because the daughter, listen, the daughter jumped on the lawnmower, right? And then when she's on the lawnmower, the kid stands up with an anchor, and he throws the anchor into the lake. Mind you, the edge of the lake where it fucking begins, and somehow the edge is like 30 fucking feet deep somehow because it just goes right down in there. Right. And then Popeye gets pulled down and she runs him over.
Okay.
So it had to be the kid.
Okay, that doesn't make. Okay, even so.
It makes sense in the world of Popeye's Revenge, my friend.
I guess so. That's fucking just insane. Oh man, this movie's brutal. So Papa's dead, supposedly. And then we get the whole hug. I think I'm gonna go with you to fucking Texas or wherever you're going.
Yeah.
He's supposed to go somewhere far for college or some shit. Is that what the point was?
Something, yeah.
He was leaving, and he didn't tell her till the end.
Start a new life.
Yeah, it's some bullshit. And she didn't want to go out first because of the family. Everybody's dead.
Then she has the keys.
And so. But then all of a sudden Popeye comes back to life and chokes her?
Chokes her out. She tosses the keys into the ocean. And then the keys get tossed back.
Yeah, that's...
And then she looks up huh? And you hear Popeye. Yeah. You hear Popeye's voice. He's like, what's her name? He's like, whatever her name was. He's all, Tara. And he fucking just grabs her. And that was it.
Yeah. So... this movie, so there's a reason why this movie barely got a 3.0 on IMDb. So here's my issue. Okay, there's a lot of issues with this movie.
Yeah.
First of all, it doesn't make sense. Two, the killings are bad, except for maybe the eyeball one, because it reminds me of Zombie, that movie I was saying. Mm-hmm. And that girl had big titties. I gotta be perfect.
Yeah, that's a check. That's a check right there. One of the highlights of the film.
So overall, this movie is fucking awful. Writing is terrible. I hate to shit on movies like this because they're trying to make a decent movie.
I do not mind shitting on movies.
So the only thing that was good about this movie that I thought that was really good was the opening credits, where the whole animated sequence of them talking about Popeye's history. That was the only thing I liked about the movie, which is sad because that was the first 2 minutes of the movie, and the rest of it was just dog shit. So, I give this movie a solid 1. I don't know if we can even go below.
You can go below 1.
No, I don't. I'll give it a 1. I'm gonna give it a 1. Just because I'm feeling generous. I'll give it a 1. Only because, like I said, I like the opening credit, the opening scene was actually dope for me. I really enjoyed that. So that's the only reason why I'm giving this movie a 1. Otherwise, movie's total dog shit. Don't even waste your time, in my opinion.
Yeah, I really thought it was brutal to watch. It took me 2 days to watch this movie because I watched half of it and I said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna finish the other half the next day." The acting sucked. Popeye fucking sucked. Really bad.
Oh yeah, the other problem I had too was the grunting that he was doing.
Yeah.
He kept grunting and screaming half the movie.
Looking at Popeye's face made me internally angry. I thought the only good acting came from the dad, and that only lasted for fucking 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
And
R.I.P. to the Pops.
And
Made me sad.
It just wasn't a good movie.
Yeah.
The kills were okay. They really did give their kills their best shot, I think, on trying to make it as gory as possible. But it wasn't enough to keep this movie fucking rolling.
Yeah.
And it failed. So Popeye was a complete bust. It was not fun to watch. I do not want to ever
Did you give it less than a 1?
ever
give it a 1?
See this movie again. I give it a 1.
Okay. Let's be generous. So here's a few.
I really will.
I actually want to talk about this a little bit. The other things I had a problem with was like the amount of stuff that they were like using as influences. So for instance, like the whole burning of the house, the whole like people going after Popeye because he's scary was like Nightmare on Elm Street, where like they all burn him alive. That was weird for me. Also, like to have Popeye kind of like Jason, where he's like stalking the woods and stalking the camp, that was also weird to me too. Like he's there kind of in the background as like an evil influence. So like those weird things also like was a big turn off for me, because I'm like, why are you gonna use like classic shit like that and like try to pull it off? It just doesn't make sense to me. Especially from an old animated character. Like you might as well like use those things as strengths and not like shy away from it. You might as well do like the damsel in distress at that point, and you gotta rewrite a whole different movie. But instead they chose to fucking make a hodgepodge of dog shit. So that's what we have. Anything else you want to add?
No, that's not. There's nothing I would add to that movie.
All right. Well, anyway, we're gonna wrap this up. You can follow me on the IG, the Instagram at Cali_DCO, and also we have a page on IG that's just beyond the _ether podcast, or just beyond the _ether on Instagram. We will be checking stuff out on there all the time, so we get notifications.
Links on Instagram.
Please send us anything.
That's right. You can hit me up. Instagram, Bay Area Creep. Don't feel free to check our Instagram page out. Links on the page for you to easily access our Spotify information episodes.
Also, if you don't have IG, if you don't do social media, and you want to send us like suggestions or anything like that, comments, if you fucking hate my voice, I don't give a shit. You want to talk shit about me, whatever. Send it to boocrew2025 at Gmail. We want to hear from every single one of you guys, whoever listens. So just take our hands and keep walking through the ether with us.
That's right. May you move on.
Yeah. So, again, this is the Boo Crew.
Checking out.
And we will talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Peace.